Quarantine new purchases. This is a very important step where many people avoid it. They are so eager to breed their African greys, they immediately want to put them into a breeding cage with a nest box, give the best diet, and expect them to breed. But a gray which has newly come to your place might carry some infection, might have an underlying infection, might have mites issues. So you don't want to put these birds immediately with your existing birds. You want to keep them away, quarantine them. Quarantine in the sense, what do we do in a quarantine? I keep the birds away from my existing birds. We have a lot of birds at farm, so usually I do the quarantine process at my home. So what I do is I'll look out for their stool, like the droppings. How is it like? I'll try to study how much they are eating. Are there any infections? I treat them with broad spectrum antibiotics. Mostly, I use Neodox powder, liquid Meriquin. So two broad spectrum antibiotics and an antifungal Zocon. So I use these three for 7 days on any bird which newly enters my home or my aviary. I use ivermectin drops or scat directly on their skin to treat them for scaly mites or presence of any air sac mites or feather mites. So only after the basic quarantine, all these things are completed, I will let the bird enter my aviary or let these birds mingle with the other birds which already I have. If you can see in this photo, there's an African grey which has a very swollen eye, right? These are basically due to vitamin A deficiencies. They'll have a nasal discharge, they'll have a clogged nose. You can see them heavily breathing through their mouth. You can see a slight whistling noise through their mouth. Practically they are not able to breathe through their nose. So vitamin A deficiency, you have to supplement these birds with multivitamins. I usually give them a combination of calcium and vitamins on a regular basis. So this is how you go about your basic quarantine. I even deworm them because greys have a prominent issue of roundworms and tapeworms. I do a deworming course almost after a month after I have finished my quarantine. Or you can do vice versa. Initially, you can go about deworming, and then after a month, you can quarantine your birds. So common deficiencies and illnesses in African greys. African greys with red feathers scattered throughout the plumage are occasionally seen. There is a good possibility of sickness, malnutrition, liver disease, or kidney problems. There are a lot of traders or a lot of people who themselves don't know sometimes, but they'll sell these African greys as red factored African greys, which are like heavily priced. There are many people who want such birds in their aviaries, but actually, it might be something else as well, like a liver disease or a kidney problem. It's not always a mutations. Usually mutations will carry red feathers from a chick stage and not suddenly develop them. So don't trust everything you see. There are many people who will try to misguide you, telling it has the bird is molting, it has a minor feather plucking issue, but it's definitely a red factor. Don't fall for that. Definitely there can be some underlying infection or something which you don't expect to happen all of a sudden. Secondly, greys have a high calcium requirement in their bodies, so they can easily suffer from hypocalcemia, which causes seizures due to low calcium levels in their blood. Supplementing with calcium, vitamin D, and access to good sunlight solves the issue. There are a lot of people who have African greys indoors, right? So there, even African greys will require sunlight to synthesize vitamins, certain vitamins. For example, vitamin D3. Right? If your bird is not getting sunlight at all, definitely you will have to supplement them with vitamin D3. As I told you, greys have a common issue with roundworms and tapeworms, so you can deworm them. I usually use worm out gel or Albomar. These are the two medicines which are commonly used in India for deworming parrots. So, what is malnutrition? There are a lot of greys. Every season change, there are a lot of people who will call me. My gray has started vomiting all of a sudden. My gray has started regurgitating all of a sudden. The stools are liquidy. So it's usually between season change or sudden changes in temperature, or sometimes when the bird is kept in an air conditioner. So there's sudden changes in what do you call temperature fluctuation inside the household. So There are a lot of reasons due to which a gray might fall sick. So let's look into few of the reasons. So insufficient food quantity. There are a lot of seed bowls which all of a sudden people, when you look, you will find it's like full, but when you just go run your fingers through it, you will find it's just the husks. The grays have eaten off all the seeds inside, but looking at the husks, people believe that there is food inside and they don't feed it for a couple of days. So your gray goes hungry even without you noticing it. Infrequent feeding. Sometimes you are in a hurry. People decide that I'll just give seeds and go off to office or attend a meeting. They are in a hurry and they'll just give a fistful of seeds and leave. So this infrequent feeding of, so one time feeding of African gray, the entire, probably he'll finish the bowl by say 3 4 hours. So the remaining of the day till you get back home, it'll be almost starving. Too early weaning to solid foods. Many people are in a hurry to sell off their African grey chicks very quickly, so they try weaning the birds very quickly to solid foods, which is not a healthy practice, and it will definitely hinder the health of your birds. Inappropriate diet, for example, many people will give their African greys chapati, they'll give it bread, they'll give whatever fast food which is available at their home, which is like very easy to offer it to your birds. But this is actually not the parrot's diet. Parrots are known to eat everything which is available in nature, not processed food, right? So they'll eat vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, but you can't give them fried items, you can't give them dairy products. So these are unfamiliar food items for your parrots. It will definitely cause some issue or the other. You'll have to, malnutrition will also lead to underlying infections. Sometimes they might, a poor diet or a poor supplemented diet will lead to loss of weight, what you can say, poor feather conditions, feather plucking, incomplete molts. Birds will be stressed. You can see the stress marks on their feathers. Slowly, the feathers will start growing a little bit transparent. They'll develop dark linings to the edges of their feathers. They'll have overgrown beaks. They'll start developing beak abnormalities. Low calcium levels will lead to brittle beaks. Sometimes suddenly a beak will break off, and more fungal infections, bacterial and pancreatic diseases, which will interfere with the absorption of nutrients from the digestive tract. So these are the causes and the results of malnutrition, which you'll have to look into, and which is like one of the basics of keeping a parrot. You'll have to look into it, without which I don't think your bird can survive a longer period of time. So, for example, if you are an African grey breeder, you have multiple pairs of wild African greys. Most of the African greys will enter their nest box at the sight of you or your or anybody near its vicinity. So, the best indicator to identify if your grey is having a problem or not is going through the droppings. So, the first practice, I have made it a practice to, whenever I enter my African grey enclosure, my my greys are scared of me. To be true, at the sight of me, they'll just run inside their nest boxes. Even they are very comfortable with my caretaker because he feeds them daily, cleans after them, and he never does the dirty work. I do all the dirty work of catching hold of them, DNSXing them, shifting them to new cages, uh, shifting them to flight cages. So they have a negative mindset towards me. So even from a distance of 30 to 50 feet, if they just notice me, they'll just rush to their nest boxes. So the best way to identify if they are healthy or not, because I can't see them, right? They have entered the nest boxes. I just face empty cages. So the best way to notice your bird's health is check for the droppings. So the first photo, if you see, it's a very healthy dropping. It has a nice digested green particles. It has white urates, and the urine might have been absorbed in the tissue, but it will have some transparent urine. So that indicates the best health, that your bird is eating well, it is healthy, it doesn't have any infections. The next image, if you see, there are yellow, the urates are yellow. The urates are the white portion in the first photo. In the second photo, if you see, there are some digested particles and lot of yellow urates. So these indicates that something is wrong inside. There's a possible liver damage, there's a presence of bacterial pathogens. This bird has to be immediately treated or has to be uh, shown to a veterinarian. thin white chalky urates. If you can see, there is lot of urates, white chalky stool, and very little digested particles. This indicates kidney disorders. Even immediately at the sight of this, you have to start treatment or consult a veterinarian immediately. There are other, if you find blood in the stool of your blood, if you find frothy stools, all these are indicators that something is wrong with your bird. So a best way to identify with your bird's health without disturbing them is observing their stools regularly. So the most important topic, I consider the most important topic, is nourishment for your African greys. So a gray needs a balanced diet. So we divide our feeding routine into two portions. Say morning soft food and late afternoon seeds. Right. The morning soft food is the most important part of the daily diet. We give them lots of fruits, vegetables, sprouts. So we'll go about it. We offer them parboiled steamed veggies. You can see a lot of vegetables. There's carrot, pumpkin, beetroot. There's what do you call French beans. There's bitter gourd. There's sweet corn. So these are the basic vegetables which we use daily. The reason behind parboiling or steaming is steaming. There are two to three advantages of doing this. The first advantage is steaming your veggies will break the cell walls, which liberates enzymes and will make the vegetables more nutritious. Right. Secondly, any food which is cooked above 70 degrees will get rid of bacteria, fungal growth, or any worms. For example, during the monsoon season, if you buy sweet corn from the market, you can see they'll definitely have a fungal layer on the tops. They'll have worms inside. You don't want to feed these to your birds directly. So this gets steaming or parboiling gets rid of this bacteria and fungus. So what else do we give? We give steamed veggies. We give parboiled wheat. In between, there was a lot of people who were recommending giving whole wheat pasta to your parrots, right? Pasta, whole wheat pasta, basically for countries where no fresh pulses grains are available, for them pasta is a easy option. But in India, we get everything available very easily. You can easily buy wheat, soak them and boil them and give it to your birds. It's more nutritious than your whole wheat pasta. It is more economic than your whole wheat pasta. What else can you give? We give soaked and parboiled pulses. Even these pulses are parboiled. Say they are just put in boiling water for 5 to 10 minutes, not more than that. We thoroughly wash the smaller sprouts. For example, the mung beans and all. You can't parboil or steam them; they'll go mushy, or they'll just almost turn into a paste. So we thoroughly wash them with apple cider vinegar or 2 3 rinses of thorough running water, and you can offer it to your birds. We give them boiled brown rice and very lightly boiled mix of lentils. Even lentils, if you boil or you say steam them, they'll start almost disintegrating immediately. So they have to be very lightly boiled. So for say 1 to 2 minutes in boiling water, that's it. Lentils are a very good source of proteins for your birds. People who can't offer eggs or say any other form of live protein, they can give them lentils. They are a very good source of proteins to your birds. Healthy fats for your African grey parrots. We give them palm fruits on the regular basis. Palm fruits are also one of the African greys, what do you call, a staple diet in their native environment, right? They are rich in vitamin E, antioxidants. They assimilate vitamin K and selenium, create vitamin D in skin to fight against harmful UV rays and radiation. They modulate hormones. I can show you a video. African greys. Greys will love their palm fruits like crazy. If you put a bowl full of all the other stuff and put 2 3 palm fruits, they will definitely go for the palm fruits first, right? They just love the palm fruits, and it's very healthy for them. It helps in good feather and skin condition as well. Best source of monosaturated and saturated fats. So all the vegetables, pulses, and all I showed you, I mix them all together early in the morning. I add a couple of spoons of extra virgin coconut oil. I used to add what do you call palm oil previously, but I've stopped using it because they tend to get rancid very quickly. So a better and a safer source will be extra virgin coconut oil or extra virgin olive oil. We give African graze nuts on a regular basis, but more nuts are given during our winters. Our winters are very severe. Our summers are also very severe. So we don't give nuts during our summers. Our temperatures go up to 45 degrees. So I don't think overloading them with fats during severe high temperatures is necessary for any bird. But still, to a certain extent, during monsoon and winters, I offer them some nuts like almonds, walnuts, and sometimes I'll give them pecans. Sometimes I'll give them pine nuts. There are a lot of other nuts which we can give, like Brazil nuts. You can give them what do you call macadamia. But as per Indian conditions, I think these three basic nuts would be good enough for your African graze. Importance of proteins for your African graze: growth of muscles, skin, organs, and bones, tissue repair, healing, blood formation. So proteins play a very important role in your graze diet, and especially during the breeding seasons, they'll just go for the proteins immediately. We give them a boiled egg mash on a regular basis with the shell. We give them boiled chicken pieces, or sometimes a chicken and egg mash during winters on a regular basis. So basically, our breeding season starts around, say, beginning of winters, which is around September, October. So that's the time I slowly start giving or topping up with a lot of proteins. So I prepare a egg mash of something, a chicken and egg mash like this, along with the shells, and each pair is given a couple of spoons of this mash on a regular basis. And occasionally, I offer them live mealworms as well. We culture mealworms. Most of my African grays accept mealworms readily, but there are a lot of like I have almost 3 to 4 African greys which till date haven't touched them. So you can't say that they will definitely go for it, but slowly they'll develop a habit of going about mealworms. But while culturing mealworms, you'll definitely have to take care of mite issues, because even mealworm cultures develop mites very quickly. So if you're going to feed those mite infested mealworms to your birds, it can be a risky business. So you'll have to look into a good mealworm culture before offering it to your birds.